dude. It's rock and roll.
It's rock and roll.
Another episode.
Another episode of C-Suite
Headset.
Unfiltered. I mean, you don't have to have them on. There's no audio in these. It's just for show.
Well, we hear ourselves and do that.
I helped 2 of your managers. Both got to do their first firings yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they each got to do one. It's very exciting. It was a good time.
It was just to like break them and you make them a little more callous.
Yeah, you know, I was just like, hey, you know, we set the standard. This guy's been late multiple times. This guy's been late multiple times. We're firing them both today.
But okay, so one at the beginning of the day, one at the end of the day, or how did that work?
One was end of day and one was a no-show.
Oh, okay. So
that
that
was a text.
Virtual.
So it was a text.
Who got a text?
I guess
officer estimator.
Your general manager got the text, and your office manager got the in person.
How'd that go? You were there?
I got a phone call from someone I'd been waiting for a business call all day, and they called right when the firing was about to happen, and I was like, "You're on your own, kid."
That's awesome, dude.
Jump in the deep end. You can do it.
It's a tough spot we've put. The general manager for that location that's so established and large, throwing new general managers in that is a tough spot, but they got to learn the hiring, the firing, and be a little bit callous, especially during spring rush.
Yeah, firing. It's not fun.
Yeah, I told one, I said, spring rush is what turns boys into men.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, it is.
Good for them.
Good for them. You know, firing.
I know it sounds horrible that we're excited about someone who get fired, but we both know that like you got to learn that skill.
Yeah,
it's not fun. No one looks forward to it. But as a manager and a leader, like you have to do it for the team to preserve.
Yep. The skill needed to be learned, had to be honed, as well as both folks that were fired were given many warnings. They knew it was coming.
Yeah.
They knew it was coming. So, anyways, your Yukon Huskies are the men's national basketball title champions.
Okay, is this Canadian, like Yukon Canadian?
No, Connecticut.
Wait, Yukon?
Oh, this is, the abbreviation is Yukon.
Oh.
University of Connecticut.
Okay.
Sorry. You can clearly tell Mike has watched a lot of the tournament. I
watching with
over under 30 seconds you watched. Did you even see a 30-second clip? So under.
Yeah.
My over under is probably like 5 minutes. I didn't watch any of it. I watched some clips. I watched some highlights.
Who won the bracket?
So yeah, we had our bracket challenge. Thank you for everyone that did it.
Okay, who won, and then you and I, who won?
Yeah, so
we like lowers.
Mike and I are. There were 17 brackets. We are respectively 14 and 15 out of 17.
Who's the worst?
I won't say who. Let's go with our winner first. I think we can.
Wait, who won out of you and I?
Oh, you and I. That's gonna be number 14, Bigger in Texas, Lee Park, and at 15 is Alabama is on P for P, Mike Andes. So I beat you by 30 points. So
who was 17th?
17th. They titled their bracket Unfiltered Podcast, but I didn't make that one. I don't know who made it. So,
that's funny.
But our number one. I think we can assume who this is because their username is Rookie of the Year 2022.
Oh, Dustin?
Dustin B is our bracket winner. So, Dustin,
that's hilarious.
we got to set up a time where we can get you on the live stream.
Yeah, dude.
Have him join the pod.
So, I think he's 2 or 3 hours ahead of us. So, it'd be like 6 or 7 o'clock his time.
Yeah, we can make it work.
Yeah, dude, let's go.
Yeah, so Dustin, congratulations, full medal bracket. He won. I think the total, I think you'll like this, you're a numbers guy. The total points you can get when you start a bracket, the way the scoring works, is like, I think 1,980 points. Okay. Like that's the total points available if you have a perfect bracket. Dustin won our bracket league with 680 points.
So we just nailed it.
Yeah, we sucked. Our group was in the 77
percentile
place. That was our group. Out of like hundreds of thousands.
Let's go.
You know, we broke the 100,000 marker. I don't know. But ESPN gives you all these rankings. So, Dustin's congratulations. Thanks, everybody, for filling it out. Go Yukon, I guess. I don't know. We didn't watch it.
Yukon. I literally thought it was the Northwest
province. Like Y-U-K-O-N.
So
no. U-C-O-N-N. So, anyways, well, let's just jump straight from basketball to indictment season.
Okay.
It is indictment season for former U.S. President Donald Trump.
Yes, what happened today?
Your initial reactions. Do you have any?
I have no idea of what's going on. I just know that it's something on hush money, but then there's like 34 counts that he's being charged for. And all I know is like, I don't care what you think, like left, right, or center, and people watching this probably know where we're kind of politically.
Yeah.
But like, he's obviously a crook. Like he's done stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And not just when I say corrupt, like morally corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care whether or not so and so paid hush money. You paid hush money. You did something stupid, and you're paying people off. And if you're caught once, you're probably doing it other times too. So, regardless of how you look, I think it's crooked.
Yeah.
But I think every politician is too. And I don't look at politicians and vote for them based upon their morality.
Yeah.
I vote based on how it's going to affect me, and that's their policies.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I would say, this is going to be the classic, like, dystopian, voter. But for me, it's like hush money in D.C. is just money. Like, I feel like everyone's paying everyone off. Totally. Everyone's paying everyone to say something, to not say something. That's all it is. But I did find a very brief article to bring us all up to speed, and it was actually just updated 20 minutes ago at time of recording.
At least he was successful with his hush money compared to Cuomo.
Yeah. Well,
somehow we forget about that so quickly.
Yeah.
He was going to be like the Democratic leader and all that stuff. All right,
No, you're good. I was looking up, I was just going through Twitter and I was going through YouTube trying to get some sources for this conversation. And I saw a clip of someone was like, so are we indicting Obama for, killing civilians with drones, or are we just going after Trump for money? So I'm just saying, I'm not making a comment there. Just thought it was an interesting point. So this is from CBS News, updated 20 minutes ago at time of recording. So former President Donald Trump has been charged in a New York grand jury. So that needs to be very clear. It is not a federal court. Everyone's like blowing it up like, no, this is in New York State. With 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in an indictment that was unsealed Tuesday after Trump was arraigned in a Manhattan courtroom. Trump pleaded not guilty to all charges. So outside of this article, the 34 charges, felony counts, are all just different payments inside of this one case.
Oh, it is.
But they're essentially breaking it up to make it look like a bigger ticket. Like he screwed up 34 times. It's like, well, it's all the same thing.
Right.
It's just he did it 34 times.
Okay.
So we'll have to get some separate information on that.
Are you sure of that?
That is what I listened to a breaking news podcast called Breaking Points.
Okay.
And they did a full breakdown on it. So it's me quoting them.
Okay.
Pretty much word for word.
Okay. Because I doubt. Okay. Yeah. I just haven't looked at it. I don't know.
So it's like the same thing 34 times over.
Yeah.
But because they're separate instances.
Yeah. It just depends on how New York works, but yeah. Okay.
So, and I'm obviously not a law professional, especially in the state of New York, or any state.
New York is weird, dude. We did a location over there.
Oh yeah,
and it's just it's like a lot of red tape. It's like California, man. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, one of our franchisees
he should just stayed in Florida, bro. Yeah. Anything flies.
Mar-a-Lago. One of our franchisees on Long Island. We were talking about like customer acquisition and marketing, and he was like, "No, like I can't get customers in that area unless I get another permit." And I was like, "What are you talking about? It's right across the street from your customer." Yeah. And he was like, "No, I have to get a permit."
Crazy. And then we got like fined because we didn't have a sticker on our truck for a specific county.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. So anyways,
I thought they were joking. I thought it was like a scam one time when they're like, "Oh yeah, like you're doing work. We saw you doing work in this area. We need you to pay." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm not putting a sticker on our trucks."
Yeah.
They're like, no, if you don't, we're gonna take away your business license. I was like, oh, okay.
Put the sticker on and all. Who do I write the check to?
Hey, no joke. I was summoned to court in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, no, sorry, Connecticut.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Did you hear about this?
I've not.
For discriminatory firing.
Oh, okay. I have heard about this.
Yeah, he got.
I thought
fired.
It was more recent.
He got fired, and he pulled the racism. I shouldn't say that. Like some people do fire because of racist stuff. I was not firing him. My general manager was, but it falls back on me as the owner. It all got waived.
Yeah.
Once we submitted documentation and stuff. But anyways, I was summoned to court. I had to like consult legal counsel and all that garbage.
That's fun. Mike Andy's indicted.
34 counts.
34
I could
counts.
totally make a video on that, dude.
Dude, let's go.
I'm joining Trump in New York.
Yeah. Or in Connecticut, Yukon.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
The Yukon. There we go.
Let's go. Full circle.
It all connects. All right. The Manhattan DA office alleges Trump's orchestrated a catch and kill, which is not what it sounds like, which is the classic legal term. Legal jargon is hilarious to me.
Oh, yeah, dude. Synonyms. They cracked open the synonyms book on that
it's
one.
It's like, no, that's catch and kill. He didn't kill anyone, but, everyone out there is like, oh, you killed somebody? You paid to have someone
compared
whacked?
to catch and release.
Yeah. The catch and kill scheme to suppress damaging information before the 2016 elections. We're jumping back 7 years. Prosecutors say the scheme involved falsifying business records to conceal 3 payments, including $130,000 that Trump attorney Michael Cohen paid to adult film star Stormy Daniels. So that is what it all revolves around.
Okay, you would have a really big mind twist.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think the relationship between Trump and Melania is like? Oh, man. I think I heard somewhere that they sleep in different rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine it's like they don't husband and wife, not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even just mean like intimate relationship. I mean like it is probably literally they live different lives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
And she has the little boy or whatever. He's
Barron.
He's probably a big dude now, probably 20.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, he's probably in like his teens.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
But
Look that up.
I would imagine it's the weirdest relationship ever. It's just weird, dude.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that.
Like, it does not take a rocket scientist to realize when they're together that she is not having any of it.
Yeah, definitely not. No.
And then all this drama happening around like all this stuff in the past. Although I would imagine when she married him, that like you got to have some clues. Like he's burned through several wives. He's got all this hush money stuff going on.
Good
like,
track record.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah. Dude, here's something nuts. All right. Barron Trump, 17 years old.
Okay.
So we saw him as like a tween when he was, the first kid when he was in the office. Dude, he is reportedly 6'7". I wanted to see how tall he was.
Oh, dude, he's
He
tall.
shot up.
Yeah, dude.
So
he was always a little awkward because he was growing so fast. I think.
So that's your Barron Trump height talk for the
Can you imagine? I would rather die than be a kid. I would change my name.
Wait, hold on. You were a kid.
No, a kid of Trump's.
Okay.
Like just having that last name.
Yeah.
Like you're immediately gonna polarize. Like half the world will immediately hate you without you ever doing anything.
Oh, totally.
You will always be assumed to have given everything to you on a silver platter, which is potentially true, but like it'll be assumed. No matter what you do in life, you will never be able to attain success on your own.
Yeah.
Like this is what why people like. I think giving wealth to kids is so damaging. Like especially in this case, how much higher can you go than the president of the United States in terms of power? Not much. How much more money can you make than like billions of dollars?
I mean, on Earth, you can't go higher than the power of the president.
Right. So like how can you ever outlive the shadow that you've been born into? Like that's gotta be a pretty lousy life, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? That stinks.
Yeah. Well, what's his adult son who causes a stink all the time?
Eric?
Is it? I don't know.
There's Eric Trump. There's the girl.
Or is he a junior? Is he Donald Jr.?
Donald Jr.
Donald Jr. Yeah, he's trying. He's trying to outlive the shadow.
Yeah,
he's all 2024 Trump. Like he's going hard on the campaign trail for his dad.
Right.
So he's trying. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah. Trump got indicted. We're gonna see what happens. Gut reactions. Is he going to jail?
I think this is a massive, awesome thing for the news.
Yeah.
They gotta have drama. That's what sells.
Yeah.
So this is great for them.
Ukraine's overplayed, so they needed something else.
Ukraine sold news. We had the Chinese spy balloons. Gotta blow that out of proportion.
Yep.
We have inflation. Gotta blow that out of proportion. So yeah, this is just the next thing.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't at this point I don't see how he could go to jail.
I don't really care.
Yeah. So people, this is one other thing, and I am just quoting from the podcast I was listening to this morning, but it's Breaking Points. Check them out if you want. Independent news media. They said the big thing that you'll hear in the media and that the left will be pushing is that they're going to say that it's a federal offense because if they can prove, which they can't prosecute in New York State, that these alleged felony counts are a federal offense unless they were used to cover up other felony counts. So if the payments were used to cover up another felony, then federal charges can be brought against Trump.
Got it.
So that's the way they're trying to spin it. I hope I explained that clearly enough. That's how the left is going to try to spin it. And Trump opponents.
As soon as there's a second one, they would have cause for that.
Yeah.
I think the optics of a previous U.S. president going to jail would also be politically, not just for the Republican Party, but like for the country would be bad. But it also, in another sense, like, politics aside, it would prove that democracy wins, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is healthy. And ultimately, I allocate exactly 0% of my day, mental energy or brain power to this because it has absolutely no effect on my life.
Yeah.
So I will not read a single article about this.
Yeah.
I won't watch a single video about
Fair
this.
enough.
It will literally be next week you updating me what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
It has no impact. Because anyways.
I mean, to be honest, that's how I felt. But I was like, I feel like, now we have a podcast and this is probably people want to hear our takes on it.
Hey, dude, if CNN some of those clicks, we might as well get some
yeah,
clicks.
100%. I want the clicks too, man. But it's interesting too that the White House, though. So I see for you guys, if you're interested in this, I did a lot of work on this.
Oh, yeah.
The White House press secretary, their official statement is they have no comment. How do you feel about that, though? That the president of the United States and his cabinet has no public comment on a former president in an indictment?
I didn't know that.
It's interesting.
I think that's good. I think that's a mature play for now, because when someone's down, it's easy to hit them, right? So let's just take this back for a bit and make it more realistic to our life, right? It'd be like this, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it'd be like Tigran Gertz going bankrupt.
Okay.
The easy play, the small boy play,
for
is to
you,
jump all over that. Mm-hmm. The big boy play is let it play out, right? Let it play out and see what happens, and then make a conclusion without mentioning that person's name. That's the big boy play, right? And so just like that framework, immediately if something happened to Tigran, my comments would be flooded. Yeah, you were right. Yeah.
Called it.
Let it play out, and then be the big boy that after the hype cycle wears off, you make a statement, right? So after the hype of for example, if that happened, I'm not saying it's going to happen, by the way, but if it happened, I would let it play out because everyone would be wanting to hype, the hype cycle needs to wear off, and then make the statement, and the principles of what we were trying to say before would stand true instead of the personal vendetta. So if Biden actually did that, I actually think kudos to him, because when someone's down like that, it's so easy just to pile it on.
Yeah.
Right. So if he actually plays it correctly and Trump actually gets indicted or whatever, and then he waits a little bit of time and then has a comment on it from more of a principles democracy, you got to give him some points.
Yeah.
So that's how I would stand.
Yeah, I don't like the active no comment. I think they should at least play politics a little bit and give something to the American people.
Right.
Because something like this should shake America to an extent, but I guess since Trump is such a polarizing picture, it's not shaking America. People that support Trump are like, this is dumb. People that hate him are like, lock him up forever. Yeah. Let him rot in the jail.
I think too, if I was president, I would probably comment on this is what democracy is for. This is why we have an executive and a judicial branch. We have full confidence in the legal system of the United States, and this is what democracy is all about. And let's see what happens. Yeah. Let the court make the decision, and not our stupid puny ideas or politics. Let the court make the decision.
Yeah. And then, of course, you get the super educated takes. This is my last thing on this. You get the super educated takes. Memes. All right, so you get memes. And it was political leaders who have locked up their opponents. And it was Stalin, Hitler, Mao, Joe Biden. And I was like, okay, that's it's an aggressive, very aggressive
But part of it
joke.
has nothing to do with him. Yeah, it's nothing to do with him.
I
That's
agree.
which is good in the United States. There are so many good things about the United States when it comes to the different branches and legal departments and checks and balances between the House and Senate and stuff like that. That's not the way it is in most countries.
Yeah. And if we want to play the politics game, Trump literally ran on the platform, lock Hillary up.
Yeah.
He was trying to put his political opponents away.
Yeah.
And whether you agree or disagree with what she did, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He ran on that platform. So you can't now be like, I can't believe Joe's saying this. Well, first off, White House is saying no comment.
Yeah.
And second off, we don't even know if he said, yes, we need to pursue charges against Trump, right? So, I don't know.
Yeah. I think this is good for Ron DeSantis. 2024.
It's not.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, he's going against the DA, right? He was going against them?
Well, no. Initial polling is as of yesterday when the indictments became official, and then today Trump went to New York.
Yeah, but it's the red-blue thing, isn't it?
No, I think it was RNC polling, Republican
really?
National Committee or Convention.
But do you think that is kind of rallying the base of Trump supporters?
Mm-hmm. So I think it's making people more Trump because they're like, look at these false things they're trying to throw at Trump. We're going to rally behind him further.
Yeah, but what happens if that all falls apart and he can't run?
Yeah.
All those red are still going to vote for whoever is the leader.
Yeah.
So,
I think Trump is still in the lead over DeSantis.
Yeah, but he doesn't have enough of the general population in the middle of America. This is no one in the middle. We're so close on 50-50, blue and red. whoever wins the middle is going to take it. Check this out, dude. You know what I think would be a genius move, but would never work. It never happened in our society. Is someone runs with a vice president on the other aisle. I think that would win.
Isn't that like what Tulsi Gabbard's trying to do, though?
What's she doing?
Isn't she trying to like work more with Republicans?
Yeah, we'll work more. But like, imagine running as a vice president. Like, say, for example, I'm red, and I want to show that I'm going to be the middle candidate. I can win, let's just call it a big majority of the red by simply saying I am red. But then I can win the middle, which I believe is like 30-40% of America that is in that weird middle spot, that they just want someone in the middle that's more moderate. You get a vice president that's blue to prove that you are that will hold the executive branch in check.
Yeah. That just doesn't work in a two-party system.
It never works.
Which is why a two-party system is flawed inherently.
But if you could somehow win the primary and then pull that card, that would get interesting. I don't think it'll ever happen, but that would be a really cool thing, I feel like, to almost make like an amendment. It's like the president has to be one party and the vice president has to be the other. Kind of like what they do in House of Representatives. You have like a majority leader and a minority leader. Yeah. I don't know. I just think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Who was...
Even just from an optic standpoint, right? You have your vice president that's going to be balancing out your president. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It would never work, but
yeah,
it's the utopian world.
No, I really like that. Who was the guy? I was trying to just Google it real quick, but you know, Googling isn't good podcasting. But wasn't it Bush Kerry? I know we were super young, but wasn't there an independent that ran during Bush Kerry that got like a good percentage?
Yeah, I think good is like 6 or 7% though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like he ran on the like, no, like I'm kind of both sides here.
There's too much money in the party system.
Yeah. So, anyways, I agree with you. I like that.
You run independent as a first statement.
Yeah.
And you vote independent as a statement. You don't do it because you think you're going to win. So,
what if we just go total opposite in America and we just put like most like staple Republican that everyone loves when they see him on Twitter, and then like most staple outlandish, and I use that in a good way, Democrat, and just like put him, like Dan Crenshaw from Texas, former Navy SEAL eye patch, AOC from New York, baby. Just say, you guys are in the Oval Office, figure it out for us.
I think though what you need is alignment to get things done. My struggle is when you have two polar opposites, you never have meeting ground. What I would rather have is someone like a DeSantis that is pretty level-headed, good at negotiation, from a ethical standpoint is mostly red and conservative, but then have someone that does lean left to balance him out on taxes, social programs.
Like a Tulsi Gabbard.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Just for example.
Yeah, for example. Like, it'll never happen. But, like, I think that would be a good pitch to the American population that for the vast majority, we've seen Trump way over here. And then we've seen Biden, basically 1 foot in the grave. And if he's running again, dude, like, how do you not beat him? Like, I'm sorry, but, like, anyone that can't beat him in a debate in just about anything, like, the only reason he won is because he was going against Trump. That's the only reason he won. Because everyone, that middle was like, we don't want Trump again. We're just going to vote blue. I think that could be switched. We're saying, okay, we have a regular, normal person that's not, like, woke and all this other garbage, but isn't like way extreme. And then we have someone on our side of the aisle that we might agree with on, you know, other things, right? Abortion, all this other stuff. So
yeah, I remember one of my good buddies, like we love political banter and we stay pretty in tune with
What's your idea of abortion?
Okay, can I just finish my let me finish my thought here.
Sorry, go ahead.
Finish my thought here. That really threw me off. We were watching the last State of the Union, not this year, but the previous.
Yeah.
And we just kind of looked at each other after, and we were like, oh, I forgot what a moderate Democrat was like. Yeah. Like, Biden is such a moderate Democrat. And people are like, he's extreme. No, like, he's extremely moderate.
Right.
And that's why, like, the extreme left hates him, but he's left enough and says, you know, enough left ideologies to get Republicans to hate him. But I'm like, no, like, listen to his State of the Union, unbiased.
Yeah.
That is a moderate Democrat.
No,
That is a Jimmy Carter Democrat.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And part of it, though, is he's been moderated by the fact that he doesn't have the full House and Senate support, right? Like, he would have passed a $3 trillion Build Back Better plan that would have taken inflation to a whole nother level. And thank goodness we blocked that. We still got $700 billion pushed through. who knows how that happened in inflationary times, but like, and that was garbage, by the way. Then he gets like the Inflation Reduction Act. That was garbage. If people actually look at that and like the political, like, oh, it's paying for itself, that's an absolute load of garbage. Anyways, I agree he's a more moderate Democrat. Think about this. Him being the vice president again. Okay, he was already that before. Maybe he could do that again. And put someone like a Ron DeSantis or some other moderate, Republican. I think if they're extreme on either end, they should be cut out. You can't.
Yeah.
Extreme.
I mean, America isn't one-sided.
Yeah, extreme wins all of, and honestly, I don't think like all the people we know on both left and right are mostly the extreme ones, and because that's where all the headlines are written about. That's why they do it. They say stupid things like we should have no carbon emissions by 2023 or whatever stupid garbage they pump out there because they know it gets headlines. They should all be cut out. You can't run.
I'm one of those psychos who, in Washington State, I don't know if other states do this, but we get our voters pamphlet, right? Because we're mail-in voters. And I actually read through most of it. I'm one of those weirdos.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know. I like to educate myself.
All right.
I like to educate myself on my civic duty.
Okay,
all right.
Yeah.
And like there are times, like I know Washington
Since our vote doesn't count.
Well, yeah. And in Washington, we are an extremely blue state. But there are sometimes where I'm like, there's like a junior Democrat senator that's like going against like the senior, like, because Washington State, I think Patty Murray is like the 5th or 6th longest tenured senator in the Senate. Like she's been ever since we were born. Like she's been in. And there's like a more moderate Democrat running against her. Like, hey, she's gone too extreme. And I was looking at her platform compared to Patty Murray's platform, and I was like, no, like I actually agree with like a lot of what you're saying here. Like but we know Patty Murray because she's the extreme leftist from Washington. And we have this like moderate up and coming Democrat, and I'm like, well, but you also kind of like understand that Washington is like farms and lots of working class people. So it's just interesting.
Okay, so let's get back to what we all want to hear about.
Yeah,
what's your thoughts on abortion?
I wasn't ignoring it. Let me close.
If you were a politician, okay, here's a different. Let's put aside your morality, your morals.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you were a politician and you were trying to get something changed, how would you pitch it? So again,
are we talking about the context of abortion? Or?
Yes, abortion.
Okay.
Okay. So if you were trying to run and get elected, okay, and you knew if everyone's 50-50, what would your pitch be to get elected? Because again, if you don't get elected, you don't get to do anything. So you can't be too one-sided here. Not your morals, but how would you pitch it?
How would I pitch it? That's a great question. I think first I would ask my donors,
What? Are you serious?
I don't have morality. And see, okay, I think I won. I somehow won an unwinnable situation.
So let's say this.
If I had no morality, I would ask my donors what they wanted to say.
No, I meant to put your morals on the sideline in terms of like your personal stance.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you were like in a debate and you knew what your donors think is like 50-50. Let's just say that. Your donors think some of it's like 100%. If they're there, they should live forever. Like no abortion. The other one's like, you can kill them as long as they're not out of the womb. Like that whole thing. Like they're both 50-50. Well, how are you going to thread the needle? What would you say?
Having never thought how I would handle this situation completely on the spot.
Yeah, you brought up abortion, so I was like, whatever.
I didn't bring up abortion.
I did?
Yeah, you brought it up.
Oh, right, I did. This is a hot button topic,
it's
dude.
Very hot button. I love it. Turn it into a politics podcast.
Oh, man.
I think I would, this is a cop-out, but I think I would spin it as in like, I am here to represent the people, and what the people decide is what I will vote towards. And so I would ask to do like polling, and I would, maybe do some focus groups, maybe do some town halls.
That's good. Yeah.
Like I'm going to take the fully political answer.
Yeah.
Like I can politic with the best of them. That's what I would do.
So what would your pushback be if the person that you're debating says that you have no backbone and you're just get pushed around by people then? You have nothing you're standing on.
The people of America are my backbone.
What do you
The people of this district.
So what if they
I'm here to represent these people.
That's a good point. It's like, hey, like I'm
don't
here
have
to
to have a
represent the
backbone.
people. I don't need to have my own personal agenda. That's a good. Yeah. It's similar to probably what I'd say. I'd probably say, like probably go along the lines of too, like, I believe ultimately that government shouldn't have anything to do with that. But obviously we've made it that, and we need to construct a framework that limits the government's involvement. That's what I would be saying. But, some people think the government should get involved. I'm a big believer they shouldn't. I was like, dude, like, it's not really anything to do with the government.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not I'm for or against it, right? Or anyone is. I just don't like the government being involved in anything.
Here's, I think, your spin zone, your win-win spin zone, if you had a real 50-50 district.
Okay.
Until we have universal health care, the government should not regulate this. And until that point, then we cannot make a decision on abortion rights.
But then you better make sure.
But when we have the ability to make that decision, we will make abortions illegal. You get universal health care for one group, you get illegal abortions for the other. Spin zone of the century.
But then you're gonna push hard to get universal health care, which means you're gonna have to increase taxes.
Yeah, but if that's what people want. I'm saying universal health care, you would get a lot of people on the right if they could end abortions. They would believe in universal health care.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. I'm a big believer.
I'm a spin zone guy.
I think someone, if they could pull it off inside of their party, to run with a vice president on the other side of the aisle, I think that would do something, dude. I would vote for them in a heartbeat. Put any name. Just if one was red and one was blue, I'd vote for it immediately.
Not in the extremes.
Oh, yeah, it can't be an extreme.
Yeah.
But if you're having that mentality of doing that, you couldn't use extremes because you're going after the moderates.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I believe because we've had extreme for the past 8 years, 7, 8 years, whatever, I think everyone just wants someone in the middle.
Yeah.
Please, just don't go to such extreme craziness. Just give us someone in the middle. And I agree with you. Biden's actually closer to the middle than most people give him credit for. But from a leadership perspective, like D-.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, I look at him like, I am not proud that that's my leader. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Trump was necessarily either from a moral standpoint, but he could hold his own in like a political debate or like tensions with another president and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think no country is like threatened by Biden.
No,
let's just be honest.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, and I'm not saying other countries need to be threatened by the presidency, but they need to respect it. And I think there's a complete lack of respect. So I misspoke there. It's not that they should be afraid. Like, no, we want to make allies. We want to have friends. We're inherently the world's police for some reason. So but we want people to respect that authority.
Yeah, dude.
So it's tough. It's a tough spot. I don't know.
All right, non-financial advice now.
Non-financial advice. We're jumping straight to it. You want to talk about your abortion?
I kind of gave I said it'd be like get the government out of this sort of stuff, but then you brought up a good point. It's like, hey, we'll get involved as long as we get universal health insurance.
Yeah,
but then they wouldn't want universal health care because then they know what you're gonna do is take away abortion rights. So then it's a good balance, I guess.
Yeah, it's a win-win or a lose-lose. You can either get a win or you can either both lose. It's how you deal with kids.
No one wants to vote for you if they don't get a win-win.
It's like when, I don't have kids, but I think I have nieces and nephews. One kid wants McDonald's, one kid wants Taco Bell.
Flip a coin.
It's like you pick one, you either win-win or you lose-lose.
Or you go to KFC, Taco Bell split.
Oh, nice.
Locations,
yeah, I wish they still had those. Oh. All right, you got some non-financial advice?
Non-financial advice. I would say wait a few hours before you have any caffeine. Because it kicks in a little bit later, like there's a delay. Mm-hmm. So like if you're trying to shoot for like that 1 to 3 o'clock window of like lull, wait a little bit longer. So I've never had coffee. I don't enjoy it necessarily. So, but I have been playing with some like caffeine stuff to help. Like if I drink around 10 to 11 o'clock, and it helps me around like 2 or 3
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
I was like, at night?
No, dude.
If I
drink caffeine after like 4 or 5, it's no sleep. Because it has a half-life. So you're still having your caffeine is like over the course of time, like it's a half-life. So you still have a little bit of caffeine when you're going to bed that night from the cup of coffee that morning. It halves in time. So anyways.
No, that's great advice. I had a nice big cup of coffee right when I woke up this morning. But I'm not a coffee everyday guy. I'm a for taste.
That will help you kickstart your day and probably a good morning. But based on what I've been looking at, having a few hours after you wake up is a good regulator for the afternoon kind of lull. Yeah. Tiredness.
I like that.
Yeah.
My not financial advice. I was working with a manager the other day, and we were just honing their craft, right? Helping them succeed, right? Helping them to achieve the goals that I know they can achieve. And I used a good analogy, and I think Liz taught me this a little bit. Shout out our chief operations officer. our COO at Augusta. But, you know, a lot of people are small business owners that listen to this podcast or have leadership roles. The analogy is if every day was a list, at some point you just put the list down and you can pick it back up tomorrow. And I know it's simple, but it's a good reminder. It's a good piece of advice. Sometimes I have to remind myself that. It's like, hey, there's always going to be another email. There's always going to be another text. But put the list down. Go hang out with your family. Go hang out with your kids. Go out to dinner. Do something outside. And then pick it up tomorrow at 7 a.m. So that's my advice.
Very good.
Yeah.
So it's very nice.
That's all I got.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else we need to do? Say? Promote?
Andy's Park 2024.
We're gonna do
you gotta get someone else.
You would be the president, dude. I'd be a great vice president.
Yeah, it's you'd pull all the strings behind, and I'm the politicker.
Yeah, I don't need to get all the flack up for the top, dude. Just let me go number 2 and get stuff done.
That's fair. Park Andy's 2024.
Let's go. I just want to get stuff done. Like I want to be the guy in the middle of the executive branch. Like, nope, yes,
Yeah, I like it.
All right, let's go.
Like and subscribe.